You're listening to The Dangerous Mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov. No excuses, no BS, no pants.
All right, we talked about a lot of stuff, especially concerning how you can beat AI. And that's by being human. Let's talk about that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Microphone Playboy podcast. So, if you want to beat AI, if you want to continue working, we've been talking about that, right? But one of the things that you need to do in order to make sure that you can differentiate yourself from some crap AI voice is to make sure that you have the human component of emotional delivery. Like, and you have it down, you know? And so the best way for me to explain it. So David Mamet, I read a David Mamet book. And what he said was, this always stuck with me, is that there's a difference in acting, right? When you are able to dig in and feel the true emotion of something. You know, if the scene is, imagine the scene, and you are on the phone and you just got terrible news. I mean, really terrible, possibly tragic news. And then you put the phone down and you react, right? So that's the scene. It's like, cut to, you're on the phone, you're listening for like a couple of seconds. Something awful has happened to someone you care about. And you put the phone down and you react. Now, if you're able to dig into your being and find the emotions that go with that really emotions that you have experienced yourself, if you're able to bring those out, it unfortunately means sometimes you have to relive things that hurt you, things that, cause you anxiety or cause you, a great deal of emotional distress or pain. But that's part of acting, is that you have to be vulnerable enough in order to find that space and bring that out and kind of relive those emotions. And that's authentic. But that's acting. But if you are only just kind of reaching in and the way you react to that is really based upon what you've seen other people do, how you think that emotion feels, then what you're doing is indicating, right? So it's acting versus indicating. And when you're an AI, right, any sort of emotion that you can bring out in a voiceover is indication. You're only indicating. The AI can only indicate because the AI has never felt, tragedy of loss or joy or, it sounds tragic for the AI, but it's a stupid computer. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't have feelings that have been hurt. It doesn't have feelings that have been pumped up full of elation from some amazing thing that happened to it. At least I don't think it does have those feelings. Not yet. We haven't gone Skynet yet. So you as a human, you have to dig into that memory bank of emotions. And a lot of times those emotions, again, are possibly troubling. So do you have what it takes to dig in deep inside? Do you have what it takes? If you want to be a voiceover artist, right, you may say, well, how much emotion are you digging into when you're talking about, Taco Bell? I am digging into an emotion because when I do a food-related commercial, even a commercial, and even if it's something that's high energy with not a lot of nuanced emotion, but really just a lot of big forward, happy, enthusiastic energy, I'm digging into enthusiasm. Sometimes I'm thinking about something else that I ate that may not be like Taco Bell, but I'm thinking of something else I ate that I really loved. And I'm able to transplant those emotions into my read for Taco Bell, right? So what I'm saying is, really the baseline of whether or not you're going to be successful in voiceover really should start with, are you able to dig into your emotions? Are you able to create a nuanced read full of the human impact of your life? You have to bring your life into it. So that being said, I'm not a coach, but I'm going to give you an exercise. And I've done this. And trust me, this is an extremely effective exercise. What I want you to do, and this is going to be difficult, okay? This is not going to be easy. A number of you are going to try this and maybe not succeed at it. But I want you to go find a moment where you can sit in front of your microphone. And, make sure you're kind of comfortable, private situation. Because I want you to sit in front of a microphone, hit record, and tell the story of one of the worst day of your life. One of the worst things that ever happened to you. No, not find the worst thing that ever happened to you. The absolute, something that really maybe you don't even talk to other people about it. Maybe you've never told anybody about it. Maybe you've never actually even thought about it to yourself, what this means. And whether that is the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, the loss of a pet, getting fired from your job, getting bullied as a kid, something terrible that happened. Maybe, your parents got divorced. Maybe your family life got upended when you were small. But I want you to find a situation. And if it's a situation that happened that maybe was out of your control, then, there are probably a lot of emotions in there. And maybe some emotions you've never dealt with. But I want you to sit down, hit record, and tell the story of what happened. Now, I'm not expecting you to play this recording for anyone. And you certainly can delete it after you're done. But I'm hoping you don't delete it yet. You hide it away. You don't have to name it, the file. Worst thing that ever happened to me. Now, give it a code name. You call it demo lesson, whatever you want to call it. Hide it away somewhere. But I want you to do this. I want you to feel the emotions that you felt when this unfortunate, terrible thing happened. I know it's difficult. I know it's a difficult task, and it may be triggering for some of you. But I'm hoping that in some ways it's also therapeutic for some of you. But the whole point of the exercise is you need to dig in to who you are, what made you you. And part of that is what hurt you. Part of that is what wounded you. And talking about that to yourself, into the microphone. It's just you and the microphone. You don't have to share it. You don't have to tell anybody you did it. Okay? I want you to do it. And it may require you afterwards really kind of taking a pause, maybe sitting quietly to yourself. And then I want you at some point, within the next couple of days, okay, easily within the next 3-4 days, don't put it off too long. I want you to go back and listen to it. I want you to go back and listen to yourself. Read this story. Tell this story. Talk about these things that happened. And you don't have to be critical of your delivery. You don't have to be critical of your sound. I just want you to be aware, and I want you to listen to it. Because again, if you cannot tap into your deepest emotions, into your fears, into the things that are troubling, then you're going to have a lot of trouble getting the right emotions out when the time comes for voiceover. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable in order to do voice acting work, in order to do voiceover work. And this is an exercise that's going to help you understand how close you are to being able to really nail these emotions when you do reads. How are you able to tap into this well of life experience? I want you to try it. You don't even have to tell me how it went. You don't even have to tell me you did it. But I want you to try it. All right? Do that for me. All right. Give it a shot. Trust me. It's gonna open your mind. It really will. All right. Until next time. This is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.